Yo, what's up, guys? It's Nick here with some raw day trading, and today I am sitting up like 775. It's okay day, decent. I was here at the computer all day. We had crazy news in the middle of the day, or a crazy move in the market from Donald Trump, saying that he would have a 90-day pause on the tariffs. So apparently that news from a couple days ago was a little bit early, but in the making. And he did that, and there was like the biggest move on the nasdaq since 2001 or something. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I'll fucking bring this here. Look how quickly this rebounded. This is wild, wild times we are in. Okay. So, basically it comes from... it's up 12%. Exactly. On the dot. Really wild move. Comes all the way... Like, look at this. This is just bonkers. I don't even know what to think of this. It gets itself up to where it was at the start of the announcement, basically. Or pretty close. Maybe a little bit further down. And with that, basically the entire market ran. Noted he will not be pausing tariffs on China. In fact, he increased tariffs on China. Yeah. So anyways, let's get into it. Apple is up a nice 15%. Actually, I want to go through a couple of these names. Tesla is up 22%. What I was doing is, because he didn't lift the tariffs on China, I was shorting Baba. I made a little bit of money on it, but I was playing for like a pretty big play. I really wanted, like, I took this run up and I got in for this short here, and then I had to cover as it came up here. I didn't take any profit down there because I was waiting. I wanted it to break down. I thought, you know what? Like the other day, this move is kind of extreme. I think it might get reversed. We'll see. But no, it kind of does this consolidation. And then I ended up, just taking some, I guess, midterm scalps on it throughout the afternoon. I don't think I recorded them, but just because I don't really trade large caps, I don't think there's much to record in the way of technicals and like price action, because really what I was trading was the news, and I was trading the discrepancy of how much Baba was up to the fact that they materially did not change. And I was like, all right, this might be good for a short position. So what I was doing, and I learned this back in the day when I was for like 5 years ago, when I was at Warrior Trading, there was one of the teachers in that community traded large caps. And he was like, what you got to do, or basically what I learned from him was to take, and this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, you risk your own money at your own risk. I don't have any input. This is not to be acted on. Okay, let's just make that clear. But basically, he was like, what you want to do is you want to take the weakest name, and on an overall market movement up, what you're doing is you're watching that momentum catch the weakest name, and then as the market starts to turn, then you short it, or the inverse. On a weak day, the strongest name will bounce the quickest. And so that was the kind of theory and the tactic that I was using. And granted, it was a weak name. It was only up 5%. 5% is a lot, but compared to 12% on the overall market, 20% on some of these other tech names, it was not I probably should have been looking at the Golden Dragon Index or whatever. I don't trade large caps enough, so I was just comparing it to how the QQQ or the NASDAQ was trading. And that, worked out decently enough. I was able to decently read the moves. But I find that only on these like high pressure, high news days am I ever really able to like see the sensitivity in the market enough that I can act on it. And granted, you may be able to find these situations in earnings times. Earnings tend to probably move pretty well. But earnings, you also have to do a lot of like research and thinking, and you have to understand the underlying dynamics of the company, and you have to read the earnings statement right, like reading for the guidance. And granted, I have been doing that underlying research in this context where I just basically, just out of like pure curiosity and like fascination, have been glued to the television watching everything I can on this, like basically the administration and on the ever evolving macroeconomic and global situation, because I just think it's really, really, really relevant. So that's what I've been, doing. And I bet you tomorrow stocks open up and fill the gap and then dip on the S&P 500. That's what I'm betting. But anyways, I understood everything pretty thoroughly, and so like I was able to interpret like real-time news pretty well in a profitable way, maybe more accurately than maybe other people. So that's basically that section of the day. I won't get too much more into that because I don't really do that often. It was just what was moving and sucking all the attention, and I was like, well, I could trade small caps or I could trade Tesla. I don't really trade Tesla, and to me that feels like a chainsaw. And the price range of $100 on BABA or BABA just seemed so much more approachable, and I felt like I can handle that. Plus, I was also listening to the presser when Trump was talking, and he just kept saying over and over and over and over the word flexible. And based on everything I've like learned, like listened to, that was the biggest departure from his ongoing tariff situation that he's had currently, and it was a big change. So I thought that was bullish, and I made $80 off that move. I could have made more. In fact, I got in like this was the presser right here. This kind of like let me see if I can get on the 1 minute where it's more explicit. It was this area right here. So it was kind of like the market was trending down, consolidating, kind of like taking in all the news, but not really dipping too much. But when he was having the presser, it was like it started like here, and then this was kind of where I was trading. I was like, that's bullish, and I could have held it a little bit longer, made a little bit more money, or maybe it was over here too. But one of these run-ups, I was like, was where he was talking. I was like, this is a departure from what he's really been like hard lined on the last couple of the last week really. So that's how I traded that. Let's go into a little bit of archive, and then we can wrap for the day. It's been a long, mentally draining. I mean, not crazy, but like I've been distracted from probably studying my own trading as much, kind of just focused on all of these external shocks to the normal order of things, and just trying to understand that. And because the news cycle has been moving so fast, I've just been like, I gotta like keep tuned to freaking the Bloomberg, as they say. Keep my eyes on the Bloomberg terminal, which is in this case live Bloomberg streaming on YouTube. All right. So what I did today, let's see if there's anything notable. Big mistake on NAOV. I think that was yesterday. I had a fail where I held too long. It was 940. I'm gonna skip through a lot of like the kind of boring watch, and I'm gonna have to come back in a second here and watch it. But I don't think it'll be that interesting for you because it's more just like I'm gonna kind of zone out and just watch it and see what I'm gonna be looking for. And this is just in terms of ongoing building of a skill set is like adding different components on it. And the component I'm going to be working on a little bit later after I finish this video, it's kind of just watching the open and seeing if there are any cues where I can hone in my focus a little bit better. Whereas like if something is happening here, do I stay on this stock or do I switch to the next stock? Where there's action happening, or what is the cue? What would be the indicating factor that would like help me choose between two stocks, one stock and another? Because I do tend to stick to stocks that are in one price range that I feel like I can manage the risk better. But I've noticed there's a cap. There's either a cap on the upside, or maybe I'm just not playing big enough on the stocks that I am on. And I should look at just maybe staying where I'm at and playing bigger. But I do want to have the dynamic nature of being able to play these larger price stocks. So I have began to, start stepping into that role, and with mild success, at least being able to manage it a lot better than I have been. And with that in particular, the kind of like more volatile names, I want to thank really Marcelo at Merciless Markets. His course is fantastic. Like, go check it out. He's really good at that type of trading, where it's like super risky, super fast paced. He calls it hyper scalping. Focus on, like, I would buy that course. I'd recommend it. It really helped me understand. Because like his results on these stocks, and he's able to just like basically mine these stocks in a way that I haven't been able to like I haven't figured out, and I didn't want to take the time and the money to figure it out on my own, because there are issues there where it's like there's fill issues, and there's sizing issues where it's like maybe you're trading with like one share. And then you learn like a technique, but like maybe that one share doesn't, or maybe you can't handle the risk on that one share that if you bump it up to 1,000 shares, right? And so that's what I was just like, wow, this is like, and then like also with 1,000 shares, like you buy at one price, maybe you're getting filled at a higher price. And so I was like, okay, I figured it's valuable enough to like, just for those technical factors to see where I'm able to get in and where there's enough liquidity in these names. And in fact, I've been really surprised at some of the stuff that I've seen in the course. So it is definitely, I would say it's definitely worth it. Really not even the course, but the archives is where you really see the nitty gritty of like what's actually going on. And how the market responds to the orders coming in, and then how he, like the kind of cues that they're able to use over there to get in and out of these names and really manage the risk with some pretty impressive size in these super volatile names. And it's not the only way to trade. And I've traded in a couple of different ways over the time that I've been trading now for 5 years, and my trading's kind of changed and evolved. But I was really impressed with his track record, and with his ability on days where, or even on stocks where we traded the same stock in about the same time, to see like, I'm getting roasted, he's making money, what is he doing that I'm not doing? And to really kind of hone in on that and add that to my tool belt. And so that I respect him a lot for that. Going into today, let's take a look at what we got going on. So 9:45. I have a note. I didn't realize it was 9:45. To be fair, I was very zoned in. I held too long and it was a fail. So I was up 67 bucks, which it was, maybe 40 cents, 30 cents, because I was playing with 200 shares. And so I come in here. Oh, nasty. Now I just hold way too long here. And I'm going, yep. Oh, and I'm still holding. Nasty. So I was actually really green on that. And then I get back in. It's an okay re-entry. Again, I keep putting orders out on the ask, which isn't really helping the market. It's good that I don't have a big size on, but this is not. It's not the best. Once it gets past a certain level, let's fast forward here. Okay, so I get in here. I'm in at the right level. I'm in where it's scary. I'm buying where it's scary. Actually, no. Wait. Okay, so 9:45, the candle closes. It's not a fantastic 5-minute candle. I will note that. I don't think I realized that. I buy for the dip below, I think 12. It looks like, and I'm actually green for a second. Let me see. Where am I green? Not there. It looks like I'm red there, but I was green. I was green. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm green. Okay. So watch this. Buying this flush. Boom. In. And I'm green for a second. And I'm trying to get out at the highs. And I think that's probably the biggest. That's okay. I'm going to say that's okay. But sellers come in there and then I stop responding to the actual level. So I would say come in here. Same buy. Same try to exit. Cancel it. And then when sellers pop up right there, I'd be cutting. Okay, so run through that one more time. So it's going to dip through here. I'm going to be taking the dip below the 13 level. Boom, I found the flush. I get in. Trying to cut it at the highs. It's not cutting, so I cancel my order. Sellers come in and I kill it. And I totally unload. And that would be even before the flush down there. All right. Let's go to the next one. 1018. I want to see if I was missing the buy button. Because there's something that I was trying to buy that I did not buy. Trading at FIO. Let's see here. I feel like I was trying to get in on here. Up nicely on FIO here, by the way. There's a little halt. You can watch the halt, actually, before we watch that. Alright, so I don't take anything. See, my problem with the halt was that it opened a little higher. It did make a little wick lower, but the highs were still beneath the lows, or still beneath this consolidation range, and I didn't know if I wanted to take it to go up here because it was very volatile. I was waiting for a more explicit dip first, and then it doesn't. It has this pop up higher, and then let's pop up to 18. Oh, my hand came off the buy button just slightly. I was trying to take that a little bit lower there. Yep. All right, and then anything else? Oh, AHL was annoying, I remember. Yeah, here we go. So this one kind of just did this. Oh, I hate these kind of like very synthetic names, how they just drive up relentlessly, and then when they kind of start doing consolidation, you're like, is this going to be just the way down now? Because it's very hard to tell, and they feel very slippery. I think do I not trade it? Maybe not in there. Let's see what the next video has, and I'm pretty sure I got someone too. I traded a little bit of it. Okay, AHL. Oh yeah, it actually started moving very volatilely. It had the halt up. I'm down $50 on it with 200 shares, which is not a lot. Alright, make a little back right there. Actually, I don't know how I end up on this one. Yeah, nothing that impressive. Oh yeah, and then this was just like a bleed out. Bleed. Just kept going down, and I kept misplaying the dips. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to end it there. That is about the recap of the day. I think what I could have done better on AEHL, maybe played it on the front side, kept playing the breakouts, which is, I just hate playing them so much. Like this side, like this kind of like area right here, the breakouts, because it's just like so weird. The action's so like feels so skeevy. Like we can even watch it a little bit. This type of action is my least favorite type of action. Oh, even because there's a halt involved too. That's another thing. Okay, I could have played the halt. Yeah, that dip below 50 was good too. Yeah, it just gets so extended up there. It's like, such a juicy short. I don't want to play it. But yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's just this kind of action here where it's just like halt, grind, no real big sell-off, nothing to define against. You don't really know where anyone's positioned when that happens. And it's just a bunch of, the way I see it, literally a bunch of shorts just waiting on the sidelines to just dump onto it. They're like, when's this thing going to be done? I want my payday, because that's exactly what I would be doing if I had shares to borrow and I had the cojones to trade small caps short. Which I don't, because they can go up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent. And, whereas like I was trading BABA short today, but BABA was up 5% and it had really bad news. And it was moving a little while, but like not hundreds of percent. So all that being said, you can change size, yada yada, but that's not really my thing. Anyways, I'm done today. Talk to you guys later. Peace out.